Welcome to The Buzz. I'm Addie Stafford.
I'm Nick Alfano.
And I'm Judy Wandu.
Today we'll be breaking down Hollywood's hottest news.
YouTube personality Markian will be joining us in studio. Any questions you want us to ask him, let us know. You can leave a comment on our Facebook page or tweet us at USC The Buzz.
And USC professor Miki Turner will be sitting down with us to talk about diversity in Hollywood.
Welcome back to The Buzz. Let's get started with an update on some pulp culture news you should know. Not only did last night's episode of Law & Order Special Victims Unit put its very own spin on the Stephen Avery case and Making a Murder series, but it also nabbed Vice President Joe Biden for a guest spot. Biden used his role to speak out against the backlog of rape kits across the United States, and the internet loved it. I think it's great that Biden's doing all this stuff for, rape and sexual assault prevention.
Yeah, I think so too.
Just like the speech he made at the Oscars.
Yeah, I mean, that was really, really empowering.
Yeah.
And Disney's fans will soon be able to sing along to Hakuna Matata with Simba, Timon, and Pumbaa all over again. Walt Disney Studios announced that The Lion King will be reimagined as a new live-action adventure led by the Jungle Book director Jon Favreau. I'm very excited for that.
I'm so excited.
I saw the Jungle Book. It's amazing. I think it'll be even better as The Lion King.
Yes.
Live action.
I know. I mean,
arguably the best Disney movie ever.
Absolutely. The cartoon has
The
a special
best
place in
Disney
my
ever.
heart, but I am excited to see how this one turns out.
Me too. And October is just days away. Many people will be heading to Knott's Berry Farm to see its annual transformation into Knott's Scary Farm in time for Halloween. But there's one attraction that's stirring up some controversy. The park shut down its Fear VR attraction after receiving backlash from mental health advocates for its portrayal of mental illness. This is pretty bad, guys. I mean, there was a mother who was really upset about it. Her son was actually hospitalized for mental illness multiple times and committed suicide back in 2013. So she's one of the many people speaking up against this.
Yeah, I mean, I can see what Knott's Berry Farm was trying to do. They're just trying to have a scary attraction, getting ready for Halloween, but it is insensitive. I mean, truly. It's
super insensitive. Actually, the ride had people going on a journey through a mental health hospital where one of the girls, the scary character, was, telepathic and telekinetic. Yeah. And she was like the scary person with a mental health illness. And it's like, why vilify people with mental health illnesses? Over 42 million people in the country suffer from depression, schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, you name it. It's just something that's impacting our country a lot. And
I definitely see how that could be.
And I'm glad they took it down, too.
They did.
The attraction
take it down.
is no more.
Mm-hmm. And that's all we have this week for Hollywood Hot Second. I'll be joining Eric Russell to give you the lowdown on Low Key.
Welcome to Low Key,
where we live to give you tea.
I'm your host, Eric Russell.
And I'm Judy Wandu.
So get your cups out, ladies and gentlemen, because this week I'm giving you discounted tea. Why discounted, you ask? Because it's about 50 cents. Yes, it is. So,
baby, this is clean up aisle 9 messy, okay? We've got to talk about this.
So 50 Cent has been a little petty because he feels like the promotion for Empire has been stolen from his show on Starz Power. So he has been going back and forth with some of his demons from the past, i.e. Vivica A. Fox,
Yes.
and, kind of shading her questionable plastic surgery.
Yeah.
And it's just gotten messy from there.
Gotten super, super messy. So Vivica actually responded to 50 Cent's post about Empire's ratings dropping. Obviously, season 3 ratings have dropped a little from season 1 and 2. Just a little. And Vivica Fox said, and stop talking bleep and acting ugly and go hit the gym with all that time you got on your hands. Looking chubby, homie. I'm just saying, Curtis.
And 50 has yet to clap back, so I'm going to assume that Vivica just snatched the quarter from 50 Cent, because
he's 25 cent now.
Exactly.
And then we got to talk about this Kardashian-Jenner drama.
Give it to me.
Just when we thought Rob and his family were all good with Blac Chyna, he actually tweeted, "Didn't invite the mother of my child to a baby shower you were all trying to throw for me? You must have all lost your bleep minds."
So Rob went on to tweet his sister Kylie's phone number out, and poor girl is getting all types of crazy
And that
messages.
was her number, and he was not hacked. He said, "I ain't hacked either. This is Rob Dog, LOL."
Quick question for the Kardashian family. What baby shower do you know it has no baby mother? Why is she not present? It's her. She's carrying the child. So.
I agree. She actually Snapchatted that her baby shower is this Sunday, but why wouldn't they have one together? That was just kind of interesting since the baby's in her tummy.
Well, apparently they're not having it together because the family was like, oh, they're not talking, so we're going to assume that they don't want to be
took that opportunity.
Are you
to be
kidding
messy.
me? You guys are done, sis. Are you serious? Why are you separating this family? Like,
Starting all the drama.
On a scale of 1 to serious, how serious are you? Like what? Please, Rob, I don't, get your family. Y'all are a box of confusion. Oh my God.
A complete box of confusion. Kylie changed her number since, but she actually got a lot of really funny text messages.
Oh
Some
my
people would
God.
text pictures of her old face, I guess, pre-lips, and say, "Do you recognize this girl?" Yeah, I don't know how.
This is a lot for Kylie. Isn't Kylie like 19?
Yeah.
This is a lot to do to a young girl. Have some sensitivity. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep watching.
But if you
her.
guys have any information on any more tea that you guys want us to talk about, please comment on our Facebook page and we will take a sip.
Yes, please do. We'll be here. So that's all for this week. Catch you next time on Low Key.
See ya.
We're here with USC student and YouTube personality Markian. He now has 37,000 subscribers. In one of his latest videos, Markian dresses up as a girl to get into a frat party. We have the clip here. Check it out.
I am gonna be dressing up as a girl to get into a party. It'll be the biggest embarrassment if they catch me.
Let's go!
We did it! This is crazy. Okay, now we can change. I don't want to talk too loud in case anybody recognizes me.
I'm sure our viewers very much enjoyed that. I know I did. Well, thank you so much for coming today, Markian.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
What gave you the idea to come up with this video?
I never thought I would make this video. So before I came to USC, I heard about all this hype that was around the parties. Greek life is really big at USC. So I was excited to go to the parties. But then once I arrived, I never realized the unfair reality that guys cannot get in unless you're in the frat of the party, but all girls can get in. So for the first 2 weeks, my friends and I were just standing outside of the row, not being able to get into any parties. So I said, this is not gonna happen. I wanna see what it's like. And then this idea just popped up. I bought the wig. These girls were putting makeup on me, and we made the video. I can't believe it.
No, it's awesome. I really enjoyed it. But also, I know the second half of the video, you actually go as yourself, a guy, to the frat party. And we have the clip right here. Let's see what happens.
We are going back to the row. We're going back to the same party. Now I'm dressed up differently as a normal guy who can't get in. I'm going to show you what the reality is like. Hey, can we come in?
Huh?
Can we get in?
Yeah, are you on the list?
No. You have to be on the list?
Yeah.
Alright, you have a list of all the people. Is that how they write it?
Each brother gets one guest.
Right, I see.
And if it's not on this list, it doesn't matter.
And all girls can get in.
Yes.
So unfortunately, that's the reality here at USC. Do you have any idea how we could start to make it more inclusive?
That's a good question. I don't know. I really don't know, because I don't know. They should just let everybody in. But then obviously there wouldn't be, I have no idea.
Otherwise, everyone's just gonna have to keep dressing up as girls again.
Exactly. Now like wig sales are just gonna go
Skyrocket.
Yeah, exactly.
You inspired everybody. Well, what was the kind of feedback that you got from your followers?
Actually, they really liked it. They were all really surprised that I did this. It was one of the more crazier videos that I've done, but everybody thought it was funny. And I thought there would be kind of like some controversial responses or some negative feedback, but there wasn't. Everything was positive.
Good, I'm glad. And you have 37,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Yes,
and
that's right.
300,000 on Facebook.
On Facebook, that's correct. I first started on YouTube making videos 2 years ago, and my theme is making people smile. So that's my positioning. And then I created a Facebook page alongside just to have 2 social medias. And recently I've gotten one video that's just gone viral. So about a month ago, it was a video about what it's like to have a sister. And it has 100 million views across Facebook.
Wow.
And that just brought like my page from 50,000 likes to 300,000 likes in a month, less than a month. So that was just crazy.
I have a question. So what is it that you think that you're doing that people respond to? A question from our audience.
Yeah, sure. I think my positioning is good. It's positive, making people smile. I say that I'm the smiling college redhead. And I think it's really important that you have like the standpoint where people can differentiate you from other people, from other YouTubers. My brand is generally positive. Everybody likes to smile. So I think people respond well to that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, what is one of your favorite videos that you've created?
This is gonna have to be high on the list. I'd say one of my first videos I made in public, in terms of like going up to strangers, was giving roses to girls on Valentine's Day. Oh. So this was the first video I made in public. This was when I was living in Hong Kong in high school. I was so scared to do it. I was so nervous, but doing these videos in public has really built my confidence. And like just for that reason, just how my personality has changed, I'm really grateful to have started this channel and make videos.
Awesome. Well, what can we see next from you?
Yeah, I have so many college videos planned. I need to find the time though. I have videos to give flowers to girls and guys on campus. Nice initiative videos, using my meal swipes to bring people from the neighborhood to eat. I don't know. I hope like nobody steals these ideas, but I have a lot of video ideas planned.
Do you think you'll be entering any more frat parties as a girl anytime soon?
I have to figure that out. Yeah, people have been telling me that. I don't know. We'll have to see. I also want to know whether security has become more aware of this problem, of this dressing up as a girl. So I have no idea.
Well, that's awesome. I love your philosophy, putting a smile on
Thank
people's
you.
faces.
I appreciate it.
I know that our audience is going to want to know this because there are some aspiring YouTube stars out there. So do you have any advice for those aspiring YouTube stars?
Yes. So like I was saying, have a unique positioning. Have something, a line, a catchphrase that people can associate you with. So mine, making people smile. It could be about anything. That's the great thing about YouTube. It could be about anything, but you need to focus on it and make content related to that. And besides that, just upload consistently, send your videos to blogs to try and market them. That's about it.
When you started, did you ever believe that you'd get this far?
I don't know. I didn't know what to expect, but I'm really happy with the growth on my channel and my videos, and I'm still reaching big. I'd say my goal is to reach 1 million likes or followers, so that's the ultimate goal, and I hope I can get there soon.
Awesome. I hope you do too.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for joining us in the studio here today, Markian. You can check out all of Markian's videos on his YouTube channel. Coming up, you will be hearing from Nick with the run-up, but first we're going to leave you with one of our favorite clips of Markian.
All right, kids, I'm leaving. You're alone now.
Okay, bye.
Please don't say it. Please.
Come on.
Please don't say it.
There's no way. There is.
Please don't say it. Oh, yeah. And don't forget to do the dishes.
No!
Thank you all for tuning in and welcome back to the run-up here on The Buzz. My name is Nick Alfano, here to break down the ins and outs of the presidential election after Monday's debate. Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump put on a comedy show this past Monday, but now third parties are making the headlines and stealing voters. In last night's town hall with Chris Matthews, Libertarian nominee Gary Johnson could not come up with the name of his favorite foreign leader. Let's roll it!
Who's your favorite foreign leader?
Who's my favorite?
Just name anywhere in the country, any one of the continents, any country. Name one foreign leader that you respect and look up to. Pick any leader.
The former president of Mexico.
Which one?
He could have named anybody. He could have named Queen Elizabeth. Even my 15-year-old sister can come up with something better than the former president of Mexico. Yet he chose to embarrass himself by admitting that he could not think of the former president of Mexico. He was talking about Vicente Fox, by the way, who happens to be his favorite foreign leader. But if you're going to talk about Gary Johnson this election season, you can't forget about Jill Stein. Stein is a former practicing physician and is currently the presidential candidate of the Green Party in the 2016 election. Stein attempted to capitalize on Johnson's brain freeze by tweeting out her 3 favorite foreign leaders. However, the names she mentioned, Canadian Parliament member Elizabeth May, coordinator of the Brazilian movement of landless workers João Stadil, and Jeremy Corbyn, who leads the Labour Party in the UK, are taking public heed as well. Stein's favorites are not actually the leaders of their respective countries, and while they are leaders in their own right, many see it as Stein not being able to pick a leader either. Aside from these gaffes, polls are showing that Johnson and Stein are taking voters, especially millennials, away from Trump and Clinton's numbers. Because of this, Johnson and Stein are warranting some serious media attention. But regardless of what your political views and interests are, music star Katy Perry has one simple message for every American out there. Let's check it out.
I've briefly scanned the Constitution, and nowhere does it say you can't just roll out of bed and come to the polls in whatever state you woke up in. if you're like me, I sleep naked.
Yep. Scratch that. Gotta wear clothes. My bad. See you at the polls November 8th. Ah!
Perry makes the one point Americans must understand. As an American citizen, it is your civic duty to get out to the polls and vote. If you don't, you're wasting the rights you're lucky enough to have, just by virtue of being an American. So do me a favor. I don't care if you vote for Gary Johnson, Jill Stein, frontrunners Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, or you could even write in Kobe Bryant for all I care. Just go out and vote and make your country proud. That's it for the run-up, but here with me now is Savannah Sinfield with a political trivia game. Hey Savannah, how you doing? Tell me what you got.
I'm great, Nick. How are you?
Living the dream.
So, since the first presidential debate on Monday, there's obviously been a lot more talk about who's going to be right for the position, Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton. And I think it's a really important thing to sort of look at things they've said in the past and examine, okay, who's actually fit for the job. So I gathered some quotes and went out and asked students what they thought about the quotes and who they thought said them, Clinton or Trump. So let's check it out. We have a lot of kids who don't know what work means. They think work is a 4-letter word.
I really want to say Donald Trump.
I'm gonna agree.
I think it's Donald Trump because he says how much, like, with his business, how much work he's done, so.
Donald? It was actually Hillary in her 2008 campaign.
Hillary?
Ding, 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 you are correct.
Oh no, I would have thought it was Donald Trump. All he talks about is Trump Towers and the real estate and the work he puts in with that.
All that stuff. I honestly was surprised too because she seems to be sort of the, the person for young people and hard workers and basically the millennials, in my opinion. And I feel like she would never actually say something like that. But I guess in 2008, for her presidential campaign, it was a little bit different back then.
Yeah, it's probably something she's trying to hide from potential voters.
And she can always change her opinion and kind of make it seem like she's different priorities now.
Absolutely.
But who knows? We'll see. Next quote. The American people are tired of liars and people who pretend to be something they're not.
Donald.
Let's mix it up. I'm gonna say Hillary.
Hillary?
Donald?
Nope. It's actually
Really?
Hillary Clinton.
Oh. Okay.
No, that sounds like something Hillary would actually say. You know, she doesn't want any pretenders out there.
And she actually got a lot of heat for this because people were saying, oh, you're calling the kettle black, you don't actually follow your policies that you say you have, blah, 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 like all that kind of stuff. And I mean, I don't blame them. She kind of deserves to come under fire and be looked at, but then again, so does our friend Donald. So
absolutely.
Let's check out the next one. I have a great relationship with the blacks. I've always had a great relationship with the blacks.
I think I remember that one from the debate. I think it's definitely Donald Trump because, wait, no, it's not. It's not because Donald Trump's always really specific to say African Americans, where Hillary Clinton just says black, so it's Hillary Clinton.
You're absolutely wrong.
Donald Trump.
I feel like it's Donald Trump. No, but it's Hillary. It's Donald Trump, right?
Can I say both of them said it? Hillary. I'm gonna go with Hillary.
Honestly, from the moment you read the quote, moment you said the quote, I knew it was Donald Trump.
Being really racially sensitive as usual.
I know, no
Honestly,
filter.
not a big surprise. He's really caused there a wedge to be between him and a lot of African American communities because of comments like this he said. Pretty crazy stuff.
Absolutely.
Let's check out the last one. I think I've made a lot of sacrifices. I work very, very hard.
Hillary.
Hillary, yeah.
It's definitely Donald Trump because I remember that one when someone was like, oh, Donald Trump, like, hasn't made any sacrifices compared to, like, the people out on the streets.
I was thinking that it was going to be him. I keep second guessing myself.
Donald Trump.
That was an easy answer for you. Why?
Because it was a lie.
The context of that is so ridiculous.
I know. I mean,
remember that happening?
I remember, the parents of a Muslim American soldier that passed away in battle came on to the Democratic National Convention stage and started talking about, what has Donald Trump sacrificed because my child has sacrificed so much, and I can't believe it.
I've given a lot of people employment opportunities, and I work really, really hard, and I have investments in this city. Remember, I have investments in Charlotte, so from this past debate, I really care about Charlotte because his investments are there.
He goes a little overboard sometimes, but that's for Donald for you. All right, well, thank you, Savannah, for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you so much for watching Trojan Trivia this week. Make sure to check in with us later for some more questions with our Trojans. Let's check out fall fashion.
Hey, I'm Melody, and one of my favorite things about fall is the fashion. We don't get to experience it all here in LA, but luckily we can still wear some of the great fall clothes. My favorite trend personally is the duster jacket. I've seen celebrities such as Gigi Hadid rock this all the time. So I went to search to find for a cheaper alternative for this look, and I found some great ones on Missguided.com. So my favorite thing to do with a duster jacket is pair it with some nice jeans and some heels to slay the day. Next, we have the bomber jacket. So get out your aviators because we're gonna see a lot of these. Luckily, summer was all about the bomber, but we're bringing it into fall. And I love to pair it with some yoga pants. And if I'm ever running late or I just need to run errands, it's perfect because it's stylish and casual all at the same time. And distressed jeans are back, and I could not be happier. Personally, I like the Holy jeans because it adds a little breeze to my knees on a hot day. And I found the perfect pair that you don't have to spend an arm and a leg on at American Eagle. Look at that. Nice little holes, nice little ventilation. I don't know about you, but I'm so happy that summer has passed and we're falling into fashion trends. Check out The Buzz on Facebook for links to these cheaper alternatives that you saw today.
Welcome to Pillow Talk. Last night, Modern Family aired an episode with an 8-year-old transgender actor. The show was applauded for truly living up to its name. The episode talked about issues of diversity, and today we have distinguished Annenberg professor Miki Turner with us to discuss issues of diversity in Hollywood. Thank you so much
Thank you for having me.
Do you think that there's a difference between television and film when it comes to portraying diversity on the screen?
Oh, it's a vast difference. Television has always been ahead of the game. You know, I'm old enough to remember not only Julia, because when her and Diane Carroll show up a lot, but Cecily Tyson was headlining the show in the 60s. I think it was called East Side, West Side. Bill Cosby, his name we never want to mention anymore. But, you know, he was co-starring with Robert Culp on Spy back in the early 60s. So they've always done a better job. And the characters on television tend to be a little bit more fully flushed than the stereotypical characters you see in motion pictures a lot of the time.
Now, I've read some of USC professor Stacy Smith's studies on diversity in Hollywood and how, you know, they tend to hire a lot more white Americans than minority Americans, and you know, there's certainly differences in age disparity. So, what do you have to say about how they cast, you know, for age and for race as well?
Well, here's the thing about Hollywood. A lot of people think that racism is the biggest issue or discrimination. It's nepotism. Okay, because people are hiring who they know and who they like. And when you look at, say for example, a Rob Reiner movie, because I see this a lot in his films, you look at the credits at the end, Tracy Reiner, Rob Reiner, you know, so he's hiring his kids, his family, his friends, and that's okay. That's cool. Will and Jada Smith do the same thing. Spike Lee does the same thing. So that makes it more difficult for people to break in on the creative side and in front of the camera as well, because you're kind of hiring who you know. And if you look at certain shows like Shonda Rhimes shows, she recycles those actors all the time. You know, she's going to kill off, what's the guy that played Olivia's lover, Scott Foley. If she eventually kills him off, he'll end up on another Shonda Rhimes show somewhere down the line. So it's hard to break in a lot of times. And, you know, when you see particularly actors of color, a lot of times they're just plugged in to situations they don't belong in. You know, a lot of people used to complain about Friends having no actors of color. But, you know, from my perspective, I'm like, these aren't people I would hang out with. Okay, and that's not a racist thing or anything, but it's just like, yeah, you know. And so I could understand how these people would not have Black, Latino, or Asian friends, you know, because they were just in that cluster. Same thing with Sex and the City. So, you know, I think what TV is doing now is you're seeing a lot more fluidity in terms of the casting. You know, Fresh Off the Boat does a good job of this. Even though that's, you know, an Asian-centric show, the characters that come in and out of there, like the other characters of color, even the white actors, feel like they belong. You know, that they just weren't stuck there to appease the diversity police.
So only 2% of the roles on TV are written for LGBTQ. characters, do you think that people of color have a harder time navigating Hollywood and getting these roles because of the confounding intersectionalities between LGBT and also being a person of color or being a woman?
Right, that's an interesting question. And I'm not really sure that's the case. I mean, there was a show called Noah's Ark that played on Logo that, from what I remember, had an all African American male gay cast, with the exception of one guy I think was biracial. And that show did pretty well for a couple of seasons. I think creative differences down the line really, yanked that sooner than it might have been. But then they went off and did a movie. So I think, those barriers are breaking down. And I think you're seeing a lot more black lesbians on, particularly on cable shows and streaming. Orange is the New Black is great for doing that. And then you've got Laverne Cox, who's not only doing that show, but another show, I think it's on CBS. So they're breaking down those walls too, or those doors. Here's the thing, and this is what I've always said, and I've said this for the last 20 years. The door is not fully open, it's just ajar. And these diversity things, they come in cycles. So now we're kind of in a good cycle, but next year might be a whole different thing. So we'll see.
Do you think it's an issue of writing or casting?
I think it's a little bit of both. Because when you look at the majority of the writing rooms in Hollywood, and I've been in a lot of them, they look like you and him. And, again, that's the thing where that nepotism plays a role, because you're hiring who you know. If you're running a show, you're going to hire the people you've worked with before. And, most typically, they are people who look like you. So I think in terms of casting, we have this term colorblind casting. I've never really fully understood what that means. But I think that there's a lot more pressure on casting agents now to sort of integrate shows. And, the way some people get around it, like Les Moonves at CBS, he's like, oh, it's an ensemble, cast. But then, the people of color are saying, yeah, let's go do that. They really have no lines. They're really not part of the fabric. They're just kind of there.
And I know casting agents and people that are writing these roles are hiring people that look like them, but do you think the audience do you think the TV viewers are only wanting to watch people that look like them, or do you think people, based off of the ratings, are kind of more inclusive to different
Well, that's an interesting question, too, because, I had a roundtable discussion in my class yesterday with millennials about race. And I think from what I can gather from them, they want to see everyone represented. And this is probably the first generation of Americans who's very comfortable with seeing everyone and accepting everyone for whatever they are, gay, straight, black, white, Asian, Latino. So I think that there's going to be a time when the old guard in the Television Academy and the Motion Picture Academy are finally kind of pushed out, and the new wave comes in, and I think that's when you're really going to see a difference in casting and what's in the writing room and who's directing and who's running shows.
And now, what do you think is the solution to this diversity problem in Hollywood? Maybe not a solution, but certain steps that casting members and writers can go about to increase the diversity in Hollywood?
I mean, the simple answer to that is to just do the right thing, but that gets a little bit more complex. That is a hard question to answer, because as long as you have the people who are in control of Hollywood, as long as they're still there, it's going to be difficult to fully realize what this should be, because to them, it's not about who they put on screen or who they cast in shows or who they hire to write these shows. It's about the green. So as long as it keeps making green, it'll be all right. I mean, you've got shows like Blackish that are doing well, although that Disney World episode was really whack. I really couldn't understand how you come back for season 3 with, let's go to Disney World. Oh, yeah, okay. So understanding that it is an ABC show and ABC is owned by Disney, I get it.
The money.
Yeah, I get it. But and Empire, is a show that has done well, except for last season. I think there was a lot of criticism because they had that sophomore slump. And from what I've seen this season, it's come back, you know, to do what it does best and, you know, deal with the characters within the lion family and, you know, all the craziness they go through. So, you know, I'm hoping that we'll see more shows like Issa Rae's Insecure on HBO, which is just fabulous. And I think that's a show that resonates with everyone. It resonates with women. It resonates with all races because it's very universal in its approach to what that character is going through. And I also like This Is Us because, again, it doesn't feel like forced integration. It feels very natural. I like Donald Glover's Atlanta because, you know, who knew that the little nerdy black guy from Community was going to become this creative force in television. Yeah, and, you know, that's already been picked up for season 2. So I, you know, personally as a viewer, I would like to see more of that. And I think that is what's going to resonate with millennial audiences.
All right. Well, Miki, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
And don't forget to follow us on Facebook Live and to tweet us.
Thank you for watching.